Hi guys, this is Reaper 1717 with an arrow making video. Let's get into some of the do's and don'ts. Do clean your arrows, the shafts to prep for fletches, and inside the shaft for your nocks and bushings. I've been using some of that tube glue that looks like it's model glue or something like that. That stuff tends to be sticky. When you come away from what you're gluing, it tends to have strands. It gets to be a mess, and I have not liked the outcome. I've been able to bend the fletch and see that I've got spacing, and they come away real easy. They don't stay on in flight, so I haven't liked that, but as soon as I found this Max Bond from AAE, I was thoroughly happy. Have been using it a lot lately. Works great. You can't go wrong with it. So we've got some Magnum Black Eagle shafts here. These are 27 series. You can tell I've already put in the bushings, and it's for a standard F-Nock. But what we're going to do is we're going to clean out the end here and put in a tip. Now you want to clean these because you're going to get a lot of carbon dust in there. You want a good secure bond with the tip and the shaft, and because you're essentially gluing metal to a carbon shaft, you want to make sure you do that well. I'm just gluing the end here because this gold tip glue is really nice. I'm going to spin this while I'm inserting it so that it will coat both the inside of the shaft and the nock point. Now these are 200 grain Nock Buster. They're fantastic tips. I'm loving everything that I've gotten from Black Eagle thus far, so I can't complain. So we've got some good arrows here. We're going to treat them right. We're going to get them ready up here with an alcohol cleaning, as well as some sandpaper. Now I use a 400 grit paper to scuff the arrow shaft, and then I clean it real good. So one of the things that I found out about my Martin jig is, well, it no fit. So I am doing my challengers here for you so that I can continue with this video. So we have a Martin jig. We've got adjustment knobs here so that we can adjust this with a fletch unglued up against an arrow to make sure that we've got proper contact all the way for the length of the vane, whether it be a Blazer vane, a Max Pro Hunter, or something like that, or these 4-inch low profile Plastifletches. So we have our magnet plate. That's what sticks there. What we're going to do is, once we get the vane glued, we're going to push it up against this end, and then we're going to slide and put pressure on the vane to the arrow contact surface. Now you'll notice that there are some notches here, some markings. This is so you can align the back of your fletch however you want from the back of the arrow. Now I usually go with the second notch from the back. that gets it off my whiskers. So it's a good fit for me, but you may want to go forward, you may want to go back a little bit. It's really up to you how you want to do that. So I have some Saunders View Lube here. I generally use it on my strings, but for this video I'm actually going to apply some to the inside of the clip, and what this is going to do is it's going to make sure that I don't glue the fletch to the clip, and that I get a nice smooth release when I unclip and remove from the vane. So good stuff here. Like I said, I usually use it for my strings, but this is nice, convenient. It tends to take up less room in the quiver, but it's Saunders View Lube, the Ultra Slick Stick. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, now that we're past the peanuts teachers, so we need to clean the back end here. So what I'm going to do is scuff this a little bit, and I'm just spinning the arrow, and that's all it needs. Okay, so got a rag here. I'm going to get it thoroughly soaked with alcohol. And now we're going to clean this end. And you want to hear that click or that squeak. You want this thing really, really clean. Okay, so you do not want to touch the arrow after you've cleaned it with the alcohol. Your finger oils will prevent the glue from working properly and bonding properly. Now, you'll notice that this has clicks. I've got it set for 3 vanes at the proper distance apart. Not sure what the degrees is. Maybe it's 90. So I'm going to go back to my first notch, and I'm going to go ahead and insert the arrow. And that's a good thing to show right there, is there is a V-knock in there so that you're able to slide your arrows in and properly align them every single time. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right there. And then I'm going to spin this around so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, normally I use a single black as my cock feather and 2 blues for the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the vane and get it lined up to my first notch, and let's get our glue ready. I like this AE Max Bond because it goes on thin. It's a high bond stuff, but it's easy to get a travel motion across the vane and be consistent with your gluing. And that's really the key, is consistency with your shooting, with your prep work. Everything you do, you should have it set. So I've got the magnet clipped or contacting the fletch. I've got this jacked up against the end, and now I'm going to lower it down and put even pressure on here for about a minute. It may be a little longer than what's needed, but here again it's consistency. It's what I do just to make sure that I got a good bond and good pressure all the way along. So we've got couple of things laying on the bench here. We've got some F-Nox over there. We've got that Nocturner orange thing. I love that. You can never grip a knock enough to get it pushed into place, so that turner will actually grip a hold of it, not wreck it, and help you spin it in. Okay, I think we got enough, so I'm going to press and pull up, and here we go. We've got a nice even gluing and everything. Man, this looks good. Man, I love this glue. Okay, set our second one in. Here again. Okay, I'm going to lay in the glue. Stuff goes on so easy. I love it. Okay, magnet. Jack it to the very end, slide it down, even pressure, and it's okay if you see a little bit of seepage coming out from underneath. That's okay. So I'm going with Plastifletches because of the new Reaper shoot through from Obsession. It's going to be a true shoot through, so I'll be shooting through the cage as well as shooting between the cables. Now I was kind of worried about feathers getting torn off by the cables, so I've gone with these low profile Plastifletches from AAE. I'm liking the combination of the AAE with their Max Bond because their vanes have a glue activating base, so there's some kind of treatment to the vanes so that when you put that glue on there, it helps with a bonding process. I think that's part of the reason why I have not had any problems with this glue. And have had all kinds of problems with the other stuff. Last vane, and it takes a couple of minutes, but and it's one vane at a time, but you know, you're making your own arrows, and that's kind of what everybody is after, is doing their own thing when they want to and not depend on the pro shop and their schedule to make the arrows for you. So jack it to the end, even pressure, hold it for about a minute. Now the 400 grit sandpaper, you can do a 600 grit too. It's just really scuffing it. I've seen people even use the drywall sandpaper after you've taped and textured and want to remove kind of the large points and bumps off it before painting. I like the high grit sandpaper. It doesn't mar the finish on the arrow. Another thing that I like is
these .001 arrows. The straightness is just unbelievable. I've gotten nothing but consistency from Black Eagle, and I'm just shocked that that I've found a company that cares about consistency as much as I do. I get kind of anal about this stuff, and I'll check these arrows out, and I'll take a mic to the whole arrow and make sure that the whole thing is consistent all the way up and down the arrow. Okay, so we've got our arrow all fletched up. It looks pretty good. So it looks like I used a little bit more glue than I wanted to on the cock vein, but and actually that one as well, but otherwise it looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a little drop on the tip. It's going to ensure that it stays down. And I would do the same thing with the back, but I had some excess glue there, so I'm not too worried about it. This one could use a little bit though. Okay, so we've got a finished Black Eagle Challenger. It's a 23 series, 300 spine, .001 straightness. We've got the double lock Super Knox on here, and 3 AAE Cavalier USA Elite Plastifletches with a 200 grain knock buster point. So normally what I'll do is just set this like that, line them up as I go, and let them dry in their own time. They say that you can probably go shoot these within a couple of hours of doing it. I generally give it at least 24 hours to set up. So we have cleaned the inside of the tip and the back, glue just the very end, spin while you're pushing in the bushing and the knock. Use sandpaper to clean the back of the shaft, alcohol to clean it after you've scuffed up the back of the shaft, Martin jig, Bitzenberger, whatever you want. It's just all about consistency, doing the same thing over and over as it is with your shooting, and here you go. We've got a nice arrow. Just for curiosity's sake, I've weighed these out, and I'm getting 489.2 for this entire arrow. Now I'm imagining that the magnums will probably go about the same, maybe a little more, but I think that's kind of what I'm shooting for, is about 490 to 500 on the weight on these 27s for Vegas. So this is Reaper 1717, and I'm out.